crowds, but also a mix of things that are technically impressive and, really difficult. So that's the more kind of Las Vegas circus kind of juggling. So the next kind of style of juggling I'm going to show you can be called sport juggling or technical juggling, and this is more on the side of kind of an athletic juggling. And it's kind of hard for me to explain, and it's kind of hard for me to show you because it's really characterized by what kind of difficult things can you do with the highest amount of props. So this is like 4, 5, 6, 7, and upwards sometimes of props being juggled. And it's really grown in popularity kind of with the introduction of the WJF, which is the World Juggling Federation. And if you watch their competitions, which they hold normally annually on ESPN, so it gets on ESPN, and it looks like a sporting event. But really it looks something like this. So I'll do 4, and so that's something called a sight swap. And what a sight swap is a mathematical notation for juggling patterns. It's actually really confusing. This is not a sight swap, but that's also something that's could be common. Ball. And stuff like that connected, it's harder for me to. So that's, mostly. It's meant to be high number, connected tricks, technically impressive things, athletic sports. So the third style I'm going to show you is more of a comedic style juggling. So this is more emphasis on comedy and jokes. The juggling's still there, and it's there to be impressive, but it's more on the lines of being funny. That actually really hurts. But to kind of demonstrate this, I'm just going to juggle 3 clubs. 1, 2, 3, you can see. Spanish teacher probably say something like 1, 2, 3. Prash bedrinken, 1, 2, 3. Chinese teacher, I don't know, like yi san, I'm not sure. Someone from South Point though, there's 1, there's 1, there's another 1. You get the idea. A popular, skit, I guess, for street performers is juggling around the world. So it kind of goes, not like that. Kind of goes like, juggling in Japan, and we go, yeah. Or we'll go, juggling in Amsterdam. Yep. One of my favorites, though, juggling in Australia. And I've got a, never mind. So that's kind of comedic juggling with things. If you didn't learn to juggle in the class, you can learn, with household items. It's not as hard. Same way. But here I've got, like a tennis ball, a hockey puck, and a tortilla roll, kind of. Normally it's an apple and not something as strange as a tortilla roll, but apple, tortilla, difference, not that much. But the trick here is not just to juggle these 3 items, but to take a bite out of the tortilla and not the hockey puck. So, something like this, so you can do it before it unravels. There we go. Yeah. So, I used to like tortillas. That's kind of what I mean by comedic juggling. Some of it's probably like really corny and stupid, but some people want it. So the fourth and final style of juggling I'm going to show you is commonly referred to as Scandinavian juggling. And to put this into perspective, here's what you've normally been seeing, more or less. It doesn't stop. It doesn't. It's looping. It doesn't. It repeats. Here, it happens on both sides. It's symmetrical. I'll throw one on my right leg. I'll throw one on my left leg. Here's something kind of what Scandinavian juggling looks like. So you can see how that there doesn't always repeat. It happens on both sides. It doesn't always happen on both sides. This is a little more on the art spectrum of juggling, and it's got a lot of influences from Scandinavian countries, hence the name. It puts a little more modern kind of spin on it, or at least it adds something different that we don't normally see. Here's to kind of show for the clubs. It's put something new as well. See, I'm using the handles to trap the other clubs. Well, that was my project on my hobby slash profession slash obsession with juggling. I hope it wasn't too boring. It was a little bit longer than I think it should be. It was a little dry at points, but I hope you liked it. I did work really hard on it. I actually need to get extra credit because I accidentally broke one of my most prized possessions in the making of this film. That was not supposed to happen. But thanks.